Assalamualaikum and hi, Sir Zulkifli. Today, my group will present about intrinsic motivation toward participation in physical activity among FSR degree students. So, this is our group member. Number 1 is Nur Fatiha. Number 2, Nur Nadia. Number 3, Nur Aina. Number 4, Nurul Shaukina. Number 5 is me, Hafizuddin. And last one is Rizal Azri. So, we move to the research background. Activity is important for maintaining good physical, mental health and among university students. Participation in physical activity is often influenced by motivation, particularly intrinsic motivation, which refer to engaging in activity for enjoyment, interest and personal satisfaction. FSR degree students are expected to be actively involved in physical activities due to the nature of their academic program. However, their level of intrinsic motivation may vary based on factors such as gender and degree program. Therefore, this study aims to examine the intrinsic motivation toward participation in physical activity among FSR degree students. So we move to the research objective. So number 1 is to determine the difference in motivation factor based on gender among FSR students in participating in physical activities. Number 2, to determine the difference in motivation factor based on degree program among FSR students in participating in physical activity. So we move to the research question. Number 1 is there a significant difference in intrinsic motivation toward participation in physical activity based on gender among FSR degree students? Number 2, is there a significant difference in intrinsic motivation toward participation in physical activity based on degree program among FSR degree students? So we move to the research hypothesis. So number 1 is there is no significant difference in intrinsic motivation toward participation in physical activities based on gender among FSR degree students. So number 2 is there is no significant difference in intrinsic motivation toward participation in physical activity based on degree program among FSR degree students. So that's all from me.
In this assignment, we are using two types of method collection, which is online and offline. For the online, we copy from the Google Forms following from the first respondent until the number 13 respondent. Then after we copy, we put the label in the Excel on the first line, 1 until the last line 10. Next, for the offline methods that we have already collected, we put the label in the Excel, which is offline 1 until offline 13 because we only collected 30 respondents for our offline method. First, we import the data, which is the Excel that we already collected, and then paste to the SPSS. For the value column, we change value to gender, program, age, and education level. We set the value for male, female, SR2 for 1, SR2 for 3, and SR2 for 5. Next, for the question, we set the value and then we copy from question 1 and paste until question number 21. For the measure, we are changing from the nominal to ordinal.
The next step is to perform the reverse coding. In this question, there are 6 items that need to be a reverse, which are the item 2, 9, 11, 14, 19, and 21. To do this, I click on transform, then select the record into different variables. Then, I choose the item that need to be reversed and assign a new variable name to distinguish them from the original item. Next, I click on the all and a new value to record the responses. For the 7-point Likert scales, a value of 1 is changed to 7, 2 is changed to 6, 3 is changed to 5, 4 remain the same, 5 is changed to 3, 6 is changed to 2, and last but not least, 7 is changed to 1. After entering all the recording values, I click continue and then OK to complete the reverse coding process. This procedure is repeated for all the 6 reverse code items before proceeding with the further statistical analysis, which means the next number is a question 9, question 11, question 14, question 19, and question 21.
Now I will show you how to enter 4 dimension. First, click transform and then select compute variable. In the target variable box, type interest enjoyment. Next, in the numeric expression box, enter open parenthesis and then Q1 plus Q5 plus Q8 plus Q10 plus Q14R plus Q17 plus Q20 and then close parenthesis, divide 7 and then click OK to create the new variable. For now, I will explain for the next dimension. First, click transform and then select complete variable. In the target variable box, type perceived competence. Next, in the numeric expression box, enter open parenthesis and then Q4 plus Q7 plus Q12 plus Q16 plus Q22 and then close parenthesis, divide 5, then click OK to create the new variable. For the next dimension, go to the variable box and then type perceive underscore choice. Next, in the numeric expression box, enter open parenthesis Q3 plus Q11R plus Q15 plus Q19R plus Q21R and then close parenthesis, divide 5 and then click OK to create the new variable. Next is for the last dimension. First, go to the target variable box and then type pressure underscore tension. Next, in the numeric expression box, enter open parenthesis and then click Q2R plus Q6 plus Q9R plus Q13 plus Q18 and then close parenthesis, divide 5 and then click OK.
Hello everyone, in this video I will show you how to calculate the total score for all of our questionnaire item using the computer variable function in SPSS. First, click on the transform menu and the top. Then select computer variable. Near the target variable section, we type the name of our new variable, for example, total score. Next, in the numeric expression section, we enter the formula by adding all of the item one by one from Q1 add Q2 add Q3 until all of the item or question are entire. Once everything is complete, click the OK button. You will see a new column create at the end of the data view that display the total score for each respondent. This video is very important before we do the inference test, which is to run a normality test to ensure that our data is normally distributed. To do this, click on the analysis menu, select descriptive statistic and click on explore. Enter the dependent variable or score of your study variable into the dependent list box and enter the group variable such as study program into the factor list box. Then click on the plots button on the right. Here, make sure to check the plot normality with stat box. Click continue and then click OK. SPSS will process the data and produce a normality test table for us to assess whether our data distribution is normal or not. Next, this video will explain how to conduct a descriptive analysis of our respondent demographic profile. Go to Analyze menu, select the descriptive statistic and click on frequency. Select the demographic variable that we want to study such as gender, age and program of study. After that, click the statistic button on the right if you want to see the mean of standard deviation. Otherwise, click continue and press OK. SPSS will output a frequency table and percentage for each category of the demographic profile in the output window. In this video, we will look how to perform descriptive analysis to obtain basic statistical values such as mean and standard deviation for study variable. First, go to analysis, select descriptive statistic and this time we click on descriptive. Please select all the key variable of your study, for example like the demographic profile above or the score of a particular question, and move them into the variable box. You can also click the option button to make sure the mean and standard deviation box are checked. Finally, click OK. The result of the analysis will be displayed in the form of a simple descriptive statistic table showing the minimum, maximum, mean and standard deviation value for each variable.
First, click Analyze. Then select Non-Parametric Test followed by Legacy dialog and choose K-Independent Sample. Next, insert the dimension interest enjoyment, perceived competence, perceived choice, and pressure tension into the test variable list. Then, place program of study into the grouping variable box. After that, click Define Range. and inter minimum equal to 1 and maximum equal to 3. Then, tick the Kruskal-Walsh H test option and click OK to run the analysis. For the result, based on the output table, Program of Study 241 recorded the highest mean rank in interest enjoyment with a value of 35.30. Program of Study 243 recorded the highest mean rank in perceived competence with a value of 36.12, while Program of Study 245 recorded the highest mean rank in perceived choice with a value of 31.30. The Kruskal-Walsh test was chosen because it is suitable for comparing differences among more than two independent groups, namely different programs of study. For Mann-Whitney U test analysis, first click Analyze, then select Non-Parametric Test, followed by Legacy dialog, and choose two independent samples. Next, insert the dimension Interest Enjoyment, Perceived Competence, Perceived Choice, and Pressure Tension into the test variable list. Then, place gender into the grouping variable box. Next, click Exact and ensure that the only asymptotic option is selected. Then, click Option and tick Descripted Statistic. After that, click Define Group and enter Group 1 as 1 and Group 2 as 2. Based on the output table, the highest mean rank for male respondent was found in the perceived choice, which is a value of 80.30. Meanwhile, the highest mean rank for female respondent was found in the perceived competence dimension with a value of 1,343.00. The Mann-Whitney U test was chosen because it is suitable for comparing differences between two independent groups, namely male and female respondents.